experience?
I think I also like to know what sort of past experiences you've had, just so that those past experiences build, up, and they'll shape who you are now as a person, right? And I want to make sure, for me, that, I'm loving you in the best way that I can for you.
What's up, and welcome to nacho'scafe. This is your boy Will, aka Nacho, and today is Talk About It Tuesday, where me and a guest will sit and talk about it, and whatever it is, and that's what we'll be talking about. You ready? Carne asada.
Cilantro.
And cilantro and some onions. Yes, and some salsa. Homemade, preferably. Anyway, so today's guest is a good friend of mine. His name is Ryan. We've known each other for about 4 years-ish.
A little shy of 4.
Yes, because I've been here in San Diego 5, actually moving on to my 6th year, being out here in San Diego. And we met through a mutual friend of mine. Ours, a mutual friend of ours.
Yeah, that's a whole other story.
And through that, we became really, really good friends. I called him a shadow. He's not really a shadow because technically I'm darker than him. But,
I was just gonna say.
but he was always in my closet and wearing my clothes and everything like that. But luckily, we were the same size, even though he was taller than me. But so we were able to, hey, let's wear this, wear that whenever we would go out in town in the neighborhood back in that time. Now it's like, bye.
Like always in your closet, that could have been a setup for a good gay joke, but
that would have been, but that was me.
I am
being
out of
slow.
the closet now. I've your closet and the closet. I've left both of those in the past.
Exactly. And now he is very stationed now, if that makes sense. Sounds like you're going to be in the military, but you're not.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we kind of fell off for a moment. That's personal. But and that has nothing to do with him. But now we are.
Well, it's not really falling off. It's just a
distraction.
A break.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were both occupied.
Yeah, we'll use that term for right now. Later on, you'll find out if you don't know already. But yeah, and then we reconnected on a really good level, and we talked about. Actually, he was one of my first people I reached out to. Talking about podcasting, like just talking about, I want to talk about life topics, and I don't want to always do it from my end because I feel like when you're doing it from another person, you get it from a different perspective.
Well, even like from the first night that I met you, we talked.
Yeah.
A lot. About everything.
Yeah.
That's usually when we get together, that's what happens.
Yeah, we talk about everything, life, love.
Usually some bullshit, but
yes.
I mean.
Who doesn't? But it's good to actually connect with individuals in our lives, especially friends, that we can actually connect on a level where it's like non-judgmental.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, what do you think about this? Well, I think you could, or they, or this, and still be open-minded about it. Like, I didn't see it that way, but that's good to know. And I value that in our friendship, and that's why this is not the only time you'll see him. You'll see him quite a few times.
Hopefully.
True, very true on certain things, but yes, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good in friendships to be able to tell your friends about themselves, even if it's something they don't want to hear, or disagree, but still be able to, maintain that friendship, or respectfully disagree.
Yeah.
And I think we have the ability to do that really well. So.
Yeah. It also encourages growth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially, I call myself an asshole, but I like asshole friends because we tend to just keep it real.
Yeah.
And just
I've
like you said,
an asshole a lot, so.
And so have I.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
So grateful for that. So today we were actually talking among brunch, trying to see what we would talk about today, because there's so many things we could talk about. We had actually a practice run, and we went all over the board.
Yeah, that was.
But it was fun.
Yeah, a lot of wine, a lot of topics.
That's the only thing that's missing right now, some wine.
Pretty sure we probably pissed my neighbors off because we were laughing so loud. But
and I got a loud laugh, as y'all know.
Yeah.
So.
And if they don't, they'll find out.
They sure will. So today, God, there's so much things to talk about. I like having open discussions about anything. So.
And it's probably going to tangent about 57 times to
that's
something
fine.
else. Anyway.
But that's good because that's actually a table. When you're at a nacho'scafe, you're going to be talking about a bunch of things. So let's just start on a topic called, my favorite, the dating scene.
Okay.
In the gay community.
Okay.
And this necessarily doesn't only have to be gay, because there are some people who go through about the same things that we do. But
Yeah, yeah. I think it can be universal. Absolutely.
yeah, because I mean, in my opinion, on just some of the things that I have come across in the dating world, um, is people really don't want to be alone, and versus getting to know somebody, the dating actually disappears and becomes a forced, or you know, somewhat of a mutual agreement of a relationship. But I just feel like dating has kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
But and dating then turns into it's the real thing, when sometimes maybe the other party wasn't thinking that it would be the real
Sure.
thing. It was like, wait, we're trying to get to know each
Yeah.
other.
I mean, let me preface this by saying I've been in a relationship for 3 years, so I'm not currently dating.
Yes.
I'm,
Sorry,
I'm,
he's not on the market, guys.
Yeah, I'm taken. But I mean, yeah, your friends go through that all the time, right? And we've all been there before the 3 years. When I first moved out to Cali, I was dating. It's hard.
It is.
Dating's
Because I feel
hard.
like when, let's
But
say
it's not
for,
supposed to be. I hate that. I don't want it to be a somber thing. It's not supposed to. Dating's supposed to be fun.
but it has to be seen as fun, as an adventure.
Yeah.
I feel like dating can be an adventure, but if you're focused on being an item, or like I want to be with this person, because you potentially, when dating, it's like you do kind of want to be with that person, but I feel like emotions not necessarily need to be on pause, but just know how to stop it, because I feel like it allows you to get hurt, and we tend to jump a little too quick.
Yeah. For someone that doesn't like to be put in a box, and someone that doesn't like things to be black and white, I feel like dating is one of those things that you do need to define, right? Because dating means different things to different people. Like if we're dating, we can be dating, and I can be dating 5 people, or we can be exclusive.
Yes.
Those are different things.
There we go, exclusive.
Right? So I think that,
Because I feel like dating is like testing the waters.
sure.
And then when, like you said, exclusive, then it's exclusive with me and you are seriously dating. Like I have a big heart, and I don't like hurting people.
I think the way to avoid hurting people is by just being completely, honest and transparent about your expectations and what it is that you like or don't like. And being honest and transparent doesn't mean that you're always going to have an answer. There might be an I don't know, or I'm still thinking about it. But I think you should definitely be able to, have those conversations with the person that you're interacting, because it's not just you, right? It's another person too who's going to have a different set of expectations, and who's going to have a different set of goals and desires. And if for whatever reason, hopefully your goals and desires line up with the person that you're interacting with, and it can be something that flourishes and is long term. But if it's not, and you're not looking for that, then be honest about it. Be open about it.
In my experiences, I feel like even though you're being honest with them, it's not received. Like, just not saying everybody, because like sometimes you have those where you are trying to, you explain like, okay, I'm not trying to be serious or anything like that, or just let's just see where it goes. Right.
But that's not on you though.
That's true, but I carry it, and I feel bad. It's like
that part is on you then.
Yes, it's really all about communication.
Yeah.
You got to really set it out. I mean,
and you put time into what you people will put time into what they think is important, or what they want to put time into, right? I understand everybody has a busy schedule, but we all have 24 hours in a day, right?
Yeah.
So if you really want to see somebody, if they're sparking something in you, you're going to change your work schedule. You're going to, go do whatever after work, before work, or communicate as you can. So I think we're all busy. I mean, right? We all have stuff going on, but you know who pulls like those feelings out of you that make you want to be better, better,
very true.
Spend time with somebody. So
I think you're right. Like, I think I agree with, you kind of already know when you meet that person. It's like, because you got this question mark in your head, and it's like, I think I could see myself maybe making some time for this person, because they kind of spark something in me.
Sure.
And not like it's about one thing. It's like, it's kind of like possibilities or opportunities of other explorations.
Yeah. I mean, I think the same thing can be said with friends too.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually was just having this conversation with my boyfriend. We went to a friend's birthday dinner, and it was like a few different groups of her friends mixing, younger and older, and just being at the table with a variety of different people, a variety of different ages and intoxication levels. I mean, some of them were more drunk than others, but I just after having this dinner, I was exhausted, I was worn out, and I was telling my boyfriend, I'm like, I'm really selective now about who I choose to share my time and energy with, knowing that being in those situations like makes me uncomfortable or like drains me. So I think yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that. I mean, to bring it back then to the dating thing, right? Like when you find someone that you want to spend your time with, right? I think that's a good sign. So
Also in that too is if you know yourself.
oh yeah, going back to the ghosting thing too, I think, or going back to you being transparent and honest with people and them maybe not getting it or not receiving. There's a lot of broken people out here,
and you can't always fix them.
No,
and I know I'm guilty. I tried doing that, but you just can't.
But it go like it knowing yourself, right? I think we're all still slowly evolving, right?
Oh yeah,
I
it's never
don't
ending.
have it all figured out. I don't, but
yeah.
There's a lot of people that you encounter that also don't have it all figured out, that are going through their own struggles, and you don't have to bear that burden, right? You're responsible for you and your actions, and as long as you're being honest with yourself and honest with other people, you can't control whether or not they're going to continue to push. You can't control whether or not you're going to meet some crazies on some apps out there, so be safe. Meet up in a public place.
Yes, not your home.
No, not your home.
There's only certain things happen in the home, okay? It's that or that.
We don't need a Lifetime movie on our hands.
Yeah,
there's
plenty of them. Right, because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. Time. It's important.
Yes, especially like as we were saying, like the discovery of yourself. I think that also helps you understand what you're getting yourself into, and it also helps you evaluate. Or when you're meeting someone, you're like, this is not me.
Yeah.
You're meeting someone and you see their circle of friends and you see what they're after, and it's okay to be opposite, but if it's completely opposite where you guys are never going to be in the middle because they want you for a certain reason. A, loneliness. B, supporting them and only them. C, the look. I need to have somebody by my side because it's the thing right now. I need to have a man. I need to have a girl. I need someone next to me that everyone knows I got somebody, so it looks like I'm wanted. Because I know it's crazy when you're in a relationship. Sometimes you actually get hit on a lot more than when you were single, because if someone doesn't want you, then nobody's going to want you. I've heard that before.
I think it's also crazy, and I don't know why this came to mind too, but spending time with somebody like my grandparents were together for like 20 years and then got divorced. So even in that period of time, you're like still learning, still growing.
Yeah.
And they both moved on with other people, and they're happier. Well,
are they still in touch?
Because obviously I didn't know them, that long ago. But now knowing them now that I'm older, they're happy with where they're at. Right? They've each moved on with somebody else, and they're happy. I don't know that they keep in touch. I don't think that they do.
Yeah.
There's not really any reason for them to, because the kids are all grown. Right?
True.
So
got their own lives.
But yeah, no, that's another just somber thing to kind of think about, is you can be with someone for 20 years.
20 years and not wake up.
Let's redirect this.
But no, but that's it's still a positive, because you saved yourself from a lifetime.
Sure. And at the end of the day, the light at the end of the tunnel is they've ended up with somebody that they were meant to be with, or like they're happy now. So.
But and then cool. You look at I had a conversation with somebody about like getting into something, and I don't call it a wasted time, but we're not getting any younger. So if you don't pay attention to those flag signs early on, you don't spend that much 20 years, 3 years, whatever, 4, 5, 6 years on these flag signs that you kept on ignoring, and they keep on popping up. And I mean, these flag signs sometimes are there in the beginning when you meet the person on a date. I'm guilty of that, because I should have paid attention to some flag signs sometimes, But it's okay. I mean, you're going to gain that experience regardless. Yeah. Whether it's the 10, 20, 30 years of your time, but I guess maybe gain them quick. So you're not spending too. But then again, you can't rush anything. So I mean, honestly, I mean, again, it goes all back to knowing yourself. But if you don't know yourself and you got into something like, let's say if you're 20 years old and you got into a relationship and got married, then yeah, you're kind of in it, and it's not going to be easy to get out of it, you know. And here comes money to get a divorce or be separate and still married, and then you meet so and so, and maybe the other person doesn't want to get divorced with you because they like that ownership of you. Who knows?
And if you're not ready, don't get into a relationship. If you're getting into a relationship to try to fix something within yourself, don't do it. Yeah. Save everybody.
Yeah.
From the hassle, the heartache, the time.
Yeah. In my personal opinion, getting out of a relationship, don't rush into dating, because there's some healing wounds there that need to be taken in place, whether you are aware of it or not. When you're with somebody for so long, then this is just my observation of myself and onto others, you are a sponge. So when you're around that person, you kind of take on their traits, or you take on maybe their mentality, unaware of it. And maybe the way they thought, which got on your nerves, you're starting to think about it when you meet another person, because you didn't take that time to readjust yourself and re-love yourself and redefine yourself. I mean, that's just...
Yeah.
Because I remember, I don't know if it was my first relationship, when I got out of it, I realized I started treating people who came after kind of like the same way I was treated. And not intentionally, I didn't know, because that's all I knew.
Sure.
And it was like, wait, I'm like attacking this person the way I was being attacked, and they have nothing to do with my pain.
Sure.
You know,
but it's a cycle, and that's common. It's not anything that's a surprise. I mean, I think you don't see it until after the fact, right?
Yeah.
But there's tends to be like two schools of thought. Like, there's a saying that the best way to get over someone is to get under somebody else, right? Like, some people are like, no, go live your best whole life.
Yeah, go do it.
Relationship. But, I mean, if you're gonna do that, great. Just be honest with yourself about it, and don't use that as a way to cover up or to mask or to put a band-aid on like whatever's going on internally.
Yeah, because all that dust you keep sweeping under the rug, that it's gonna become a bump.
Yeah,
and you're not gonna be able to
unload that on the person that your forever person. You don't want to unload that on.
It's
you don't
not
want to
fair.
miss an opportunity of someone.
Yeah,
you know, because you're
don't know how to move on.
Right.
And not let go.
Right.
You know, appreciate the things that has happened, whether they're good or bad, but learn to let go of the individual, or I don't want to say experience, but if it's a negative experience, you need to let that go. Take what you were supposed to take out of it and move forward. And, you know, it helps you become a better person, a more aware person in yourself. That way, when you're dating, you don't kind of punish the person for nothing that they have nothing to do with. And I'm guilty. I've done that.
Yeah.
I shut off.
I feel like I want to make this a little bit more interactive. So I'm curious to know what people's thoughts are. But what are your thoughts on disclosing or talking about past relationships with the person that you're with now? Because I know how I feel about it. I'm curious to know how
I want to hear. Yes, definitely want to hear that in the comments, please. Now, personally,
and nobody's wrong. I'm not.
No, because we're all different. Well, I know me and you always do. That's what I like. Right. Now, when it comes to like, there's certain ways you can talk about your past.
Sure.
Your ex or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I listen, so it's like when I hear a person talking about it as if they haven't moved on, and how I can tell is that they're like, they blame themselves or something like that, or it becomes a certain topic that comes up a lot, especially when they're intoxicated. Mm-hmm. Something about alcohol brings out those inner demons or inner shadows that you're trying to keep covered, and you haven't moved past it. So how I feel is like, if you are dating somebody and they're bringing it up, it's, well, then why are we dating? And you're bringing this up so much. Sure. Like, can we move on? Now, if you're talking about an experience that you gained and you kind of stopped it at that, like you didn't continue talking about it, like, oh, I learned this about my ex, blah, 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 blah. But I will say, when you're dating somebody, be careful when you ask that question, because you may open up a can of worms. Right. When you're like, so what happened?
Yeah.
With you and your ex? You got to be
to accept whatever answer
yes,
you get.
Yes. And I give props to the people who take in all that mess, and then they're like, okay, I shouldn't have asked, you know.
I don't ever say I shouldn't have asked, but I'm the person that's like, tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Well,
like, talk to me.
Me personally, I want to know.
Same.
Because I want to know what happened and where's maybe your mindset now.
Right.
Like, are you trying to go into something to heal that, or
Sure.
you've moved past it and you learned something from it and you're
Sure.
trying to,
Yeah.
I'm not looking for that. I'm not going to punish someone. Because I think with me, when I go through my experiences, it's like, and my exes or whatever, I take it as an experience and try to learn what I learned from it,
Yeah.
good and bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna. It was the biggest practice of not making the next person come in my life pay for that, because
Sure.
it happens when you're unconsciously happens.
Yeah.
You don't mean it, but what?
Yeah. No. I want to know, and I've been. I don't have a very like colorful past dating history, right? It's been a very few select number of people, but I've had a boyfriend on both ends of the spectrum, someone that literally within the first couple months of us dating divulged all of the crazy stuff that they've been a part of, all of the past relationships. I was involved with someone who was bi, so like all of his pregnancy scares, that he might have had kids out there, blah 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 blah. And yeah, he took the time to just like divulge all of that. And initially, it's kind of taxing, right, to like hear all of that about somebody that you care about. But afterwards, I respected him so much more, because the ability to get all that out of the way and then allow me to process it and ask questions, or not ask questions but just know the things that you've been through. I find that worked. I liked that, right? And then also I've been with someone that just doesn't say anything about it. And it's harder for me. It's harder that way because things will come up randomly in conversation when you're meeting, a mutual friend that him and his ex had, or when you're out and about and you see somebody, later on that day, like I used to mess with that person, right? So to me, like if it trickles in little by little, you're like reliving that every once in a while over the course of however long. I think I also like to know what sort of past experiences you've had, just so that those past experiences build, up, and they'll shape who you are now as a person, right? And I want to make sure for me that, I'm loving you in the best way that I can for you. I want to make sure that I'm not going to trigger anything or hurt you in a way that you've been hurt in the past, or just be more sensitive to things that maybe I'm not aware of, rather than having them blow up in a fight because I didn't know about it later on. So I don't know, I like to know. I don't really ask, but if you offer, I will also say, one of my biggest pet peeves, I don't want to hear anything about you from a ex, a friend, anybody else around here. Like, I shouldn't go out and learn about you from or some dirt from the past. Like, you should be able to divulge that to me or let me know.
Now, in that case too, what if somebody pops up just because they're jealous of you're with someone that they wanted to pursue, but you don't know that, and they come in like, oh well, I heard da 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 da, and he's still messaging me. You go to the source, right?
Yeah. I do.
Yeah, I know some people who don't.
No, I've had that happen before. But again, I didn't know about it until after the fact. Right? We had gone out, a big group of people. I met a bunch of friends. Everybody got drunk. And afterwards, I was told, oh well, so and so is still in my DM. So and so is still trying to get at me. Blah 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 blah.
Why is it in your DM?
I
right?
know. Yeah,
it's like, well, then let it go. Cut that out.
No, for real. And then at that point he did, right, and he. Again, this is a whole nother topic about like social media and sharing messages.
But it's still involved in.
This is another question I want to ask is like access to your partner's phone. That's a really sensitive subject. But like, he, and this is an ex from years and years ago. He, like, whenever somebody messaged him or whenever someone would try to get at him or whatever, he would tell me about it. And I may be fucked up and weird for saying this, but like I was happy that he was comfortable enough saying like, oh, X, Y, and Z hit me up. Like it just I don't know, it oddly made us closer. To be able to like share that and to know that he was comfortable enough talking to me about it, or I was comfortable enough to be like, oh, this happened. So I don't know.
Well, I think it's like that almost that open door policy of that communication. I think, especially again when whether you're confident or comfortable in your own skin, you're not going to allow
Sure.
it to affect you in a negative way
Right,
when
exactly.
they tell you.
Yeah.
Because like with me, I don't get jealous, but I notice when I'm a little intoxicated, I can get a little different, jaded maybe.
Sure.
If I don't know what's up, if
Right.
we're walking in
Oh,
somewhere and I'm
same.
like, you're just gonna let that person touch you?
Yeah, I
You
have a
know,
whole
you're mine.
stank face.
Yeah.
My whole body language changes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will
especially when
literally
I'm
drop
drinking.
and leave.
Yeah.
I have allowed my emotions come out, especially if you're mine, and I hate that because in my relationships, it
Yeah.
creates an ugly me, and I know how I can get. So it's like I don't want to do that, so I would avoid
Yeah.
those spots. And then like, you know what? I'm not a jealous person because I know who I am, and if you want that, bye. I'm out. I'm bouncing.
See, and for me, like for him to disclose that information,
Yeah.
and for him to, be comfortable enough to talk about that with me, oddly gave me like a weird sense of like respect and confidence in him and his ability to like communicate that with me.
Yeah.
Right? Like it almost felt like we were more of a partnership because we
Yeah.
were able to say like, oh, this happened.
Yeah.
Oh, this happened. This person came up to me. Like, not that you need to report every little thing. That's
Yeah.
not what I'm saying. But in an instance where you have someone from your past that is trying to hit you up now that you're in a relationship, which we were talking about before. You get hit on. Seems like you get hit on more when you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
To be able to have that conversation with your partner and be like, yo, or if you're out and you are going to be surrounded with somebody that
Well
you
known.
used to mess with,
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah.
that your ex used to mess with, like I just think it's like a courtesy to give
Yeah.
the other person a heads up
Yeah.
rather than having them come up and talk about it later, or having a
Yeah.
friend be like, hey, didn't you guys used to smash, like in front
Yeah.
of your new person? Like to me that
Yeah.
is just like uncomfortable, and it can go left really quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I've actually ran into on that topic when I was when I was with somebody and he did not like going into the gay scene, and I guess like certain spots out there would be like, well, why?
Right.
You know, and well, there's a lot of people I like mess with or whatever. Then I want to run into them. I was like, okay, well, and I think maybe I should have respected him in that sense that he didn't want to be in that uncomfortable situation.
Mm-hmm.
But with me, where it's like, you have me.
Yeah.
I'm your present, that's your past. So I don't care who we run into.
Right.
Because you've told me.
Right.
You know, it's like, okay, cool, I appreciate it, thank you, but I'm your future.
Sure.
Or you're now.
Yeah.
And I don't care about them.
Yeah.
You know, as long as they're not coming into the future or the present,
Sure.
I shouldn't have nothing to worry about. And thank you for telling me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, who's that person? Because they're looking at you and they're not looking at me.
Yeah.
And I really don't care to me. And I'll try to be smart, like, okay, I know who this person is. Maybe I even know, but maybe you're trying to pursue him and you failed. Sorry, I got him. So it's like, okay, like, so who was that? Should I even ask? You know,
Yeah.
but then I should ask because I'm like, if I ever see that person, I know why he's giving me a side eye, but I know how to put two and two together.
Right, exactly. We're not stupid.
Yeah.
But I think that you, and this is something that, I have told, my boyfriend now, like, I'm dating you, but you also come with baggage and you come with the past. And I respect that, but I'm also now taking that on.
Mm-hmm.
As healthy or as right or as wrong as
Mm-hmm.
people may think that is. To me, I think it's a reality of life.
It
that
is.
You are dating your significant other's past as well. They're going to bring baggage with them that you now, by being in a partnership with them, are going to have to take some ownership of, or
Yeah.
at least respect and be able to help your partner through that.
Yeah.
Knowing that there were people in the past that they've slept with, people in the past that they've been in a relationship with. Those don't go away because you're in a new relationship.
Yeah.
Like the hardships, the ups, the downs that your partner has experienced in the past with somebody else, that's still shaped them, right? Like at one point in time they were with this person for a reason.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not like worried about it or like jealous of that. I think for me it's more so like I don't
Want to be
I don't want to be
blindsided.
blindsided. And also like I am very adamant about like not having secrets and about being transparent and about like being a partnership of not having to worry about what I say or who I say it to or like
So
you know
hard
what I
to
mean?
be aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah, just to be at least with like I feel like that's part of the benefit of being in a relationship is you have that one person that you can say anything to and
Because
no
you have
judgment.
that partnership, you have that
exactly.
friendship in it that's built through the
And
dating.
I think that's exactly. And I think that's an important part of like being in a relationship or finding a partner.
Yeah.
Is being able to have that dynamic of talking about anything from the past or talking about anything for the future and being understanding and respectful of it.
Gosh, that's big too on the understanding, because even when you meet somebody, you might have meet them on a bad day.
Yeah.
So you can't always rely on that first impression as everything. It's not, because they might have got fired that day and you didn't know that, but this person continued with a date, with you, and it's like, gosh, he was an asshole.
Yeah.
And then, well, if it was anything, they would reach out to you. I
Right.
apologize. Can we just try this again? Because just had a bad day, just found someone passed away. Whatever the case is, be open to it. But
Yeah. And I mean, it's up to you to whether or not you want to entertain that.
True.
Right?
Very true.
I have people that are like, screw me over once, or like asshole once, done. Out,
yeah.
Nothing.
Well, there you have to be aware, like whether or not, and if you want to put yourself on that line again, because if this happens twice, then okay.
Yeah.
And I'm already giving you a second chance, and this ain't baseball, so 1, 2, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't do 3. So, because then that just tells me, okay, you got a magnet to these kind of situations to you, so I gotta move on. And that's just one opinion. There's 2 sides to everything.
Sure.
But on my side, I'm just like, this is my life, and I don't have a lot of time. I don't know when my day is up, but I just know that I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah.
And I gotta move on, because maybe you should have rescheduled versus scheduling and continuing this day, and you had a bad day. We all have bad days.
Yeah.
It's life, and you gotta stop making up excuses why you can't take the best from it. But yeah, I believe in definitely in that dating too, as you're talking about the partnership and stuff. When you, again, of course, knowing yourself, I feel like there's some if you can really feel comfortable with that person, like again what they bring to the table when you're dating or having that first conversation, like, gosh, I feel like I can really open up to this person. And sometimes slow up, be careful, don't open up too easy, because there's some snakes out there that just knows how to put on that facade and put that mask on where it's like, God, I can open up to you, and they take everything in, and then where they go, or they use all your information for other reasons. So you really got to give a little, but make sure you're getting a little back. It's
My
okay.
mind is racing to all these like sensitive subject topics,
yeah.
questions.
Let's hear it.
That I'm curious to know what people's thoughts are. One of them, just circling back, was the idea of shared social media accounts.
Yes, I actually forgot. I want to talk about that too.
Yeah, I just feel like we need to just make a running list. Shared social media accounts.
Yeah. Access
to your partner's social media or your phone, which is whatever. I'm curious about like interracial dating. What people's thoughts are.
That to me is big, because I feel like it's 2 sides, because you have your outside circle. You got everybody judging.
Yeah.
You got your friends and their friends, and like, why are you with that? Whatever ethnicity that person is, because you have their baggage that you got to bring onto your life, and whatever baggage that you may have, And then it's also, you got the ones who are curious. I want to date something outside of what I'm used to. Boom. Or it's just a person, because you got those who just, they like each other genuinely because they have a connection.
Yeah.
And it's not about what everybody understands. Everybody is who they are. Because that can have a lot of different scenarios, especially black and white, or Mexican and
my boyfriend's black, so
is he? I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
That's the other thing. So from my perspective, right, and I think this is completely fucked up in the gay community, but whatever. That's just my thoughts. I feel as though if you are any other race and you are in a relationship or you're interacting with somebody that's black, you automatically get put in a box of that's all that you like, right? Or that's all that you're chasing.
This is true.
Which I think is messed up. All that to say, I am in a relationship with somebody that's black, and I have been for 3 years. But like,
and his last was
thing.
Black too. Sorry.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. So it's a pattern now because it's 2. Fine. But yeah. So I think that's an interesting. I think there's a lot of interesting stereotypes, which is probably a whole other discussion topic in the gay community. But even like people that make comments about finding a particular race attractive, right? All of a sudden, then that's all that you like, right? Like I have a friend that he's black and he dates older white men. Like that's all that he does.
Hey, I mean, it's your thing. You do your thing.
Exactly. It's just it's interesting.
It's funny because I've got.
He doesn't get mad when he sees this.
Don't show him.
No,
but
he knows. I talk to him about it. I give him crap for it all the time. He's funny. Shout out. Yeah.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
I mean, I've been known as always with Hispanic guys.
I didn't want to say it. I don't want to put you on blast.
That's okay, and probably anybody would know that.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta say this because I'm just comfortable where, you know, my mom would always say, please, no more. No, well, I don't know if I should say that because I don't know if, you know.
There's another person out there for you, whether you're tall, short,
exactly.
fat, whatever you're into.
Yeah.
There is somebody that is into
Why'd you look at me like that?
Well, because I just had this conversation with my straight coworkers.
Oh, okay.
In the break room, which probably is not work appropriate. But we had this. I was just having this conversation last week about you could be into any feet. People are into feet.
This is so true.
I'm not into feet, but you can sell pictures of your feet online if you need a little extra cash. To anything. I was watching a TV show about someone that was in love with the plane, and she bought plane parts online, and she would like make out with the plane parts once they came. Oh. If there's
you know, yes,
there,
this is true. You could have fetishes about the couch, and that couch has been vandalized so many times. You know, I would second guess if you want to sit on that one, but you know, like, why is it wrapped in plastic? I don't want to know. You know.
Dating. If there's you know, if you're into something,
everybody has their thing. I just like a living human being, a man. Mm-hmm. So you like what you like.
So dating.
Yes.
Is like, I feel like it's mostly on apps now.
It is.
Which is,
you
it's
know,
kind of played out. Like everybody talks about this, right? The people have changed. It's now more accessible to go on your phone and jump on Tinder or Grindr or whatever sort of platform.
Guilty.
Yeah, you use.
It's, well, you know what? I think I can't say this. I mean, in the beginning of just coming out and those apps didn't exist. They had Adam for Adam was the only thing, but that wasn't on my phone. But I met a lot of people because I was in that area. And my first 2 exes, I did meet them in person. There's nothing like when you meet somebody, not, you know, looking them up. You know, it's different. My last one, yes, I met on Tinder, but it was just I never thought.
I met on Tinder, and we've been together for 3 years, and we're moving in together. So that's just like a success story for all the people that.
I've heard though a lot. There's even a lot of people on Tinder. They'll even say like Tinder is probably the best one because you meet different individuals. They're nicer or whatever the case. I mean, it's open because I've seen some of those people on Grindr, Jack. I was like, oh, I know who you are.
The whole meme thing that's going around with the pictures. What is it called? The Martha Stewart challenge, maybe. Some challenge where people are putting like
wait, I heard Facebook, this. Yeah.
On LinkedIn, picture on Instagram.
Yeah.
I guarantee you half the people that are in the gay community, more than half the people that are on Tinder are also on Grindr and Jack.
Yep, I've seen them.
Apps. Yeah, exactly.
I've seen them because I can speak for myself.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
And things work out. I mean,
yeah.
And they don't work out.
Yeah.
But you know that going into it.
It's like I feel like there's certain apps that you know what that app is about. And then it kind of sucks because if you don't do your, not say you got to do your homework and download these apps and see, is that one on here? That's too much.
Oh, okay. Could you try again? They have something to say about dating, I guess.
I guess so. They thought so.
It's gonna start dialing some people.
I know. But I mean, there's 2 sides to everything. You know, there's good and bad from the apps. But I mean, get out there. Really, because there are predators on these apps, so be careful.
There's tons of stuff to do. I mean, we're in San Diego, but I'm sure there are different like clubs and communities and other options for you
never
to
know
get
who's
out
out there. Yeah,
to go do stuff like sports, intramural sports. If you're into sports, if that's your thing, San Diego has. Straight leagues, gay leagues for literally everything. Volleyball, basketball, football, shooting pool, shooting darts. Like, you just jump online, and that's a great way to meet people.
Yeah. And then meetups,
friends too, right? Like, this friendship came through
a mutual friend.
A Tinder date.
Yeah.
That I went on with a mutual friend, and through that, I ended up going to a party with him, and met you. Literally walked up to him and was like, "So we're gonna be friends now."
He did.
There might have been some
You're
alcohol.
gonna take my number, and
there might have been some alcohol involved.
Yes,
but I mean, it was. And then look what happened, right?
Yeah.
So it came out of a Tinder date.
Yep. Like,
Have you been catfished before?
yes, we have.
Yeah.
Remember, but that hasn't happened in person. But people think I'm a
Oh,
catfish.
I forgot about that. I guess more
It
specifically.
didn't happen, but
yeah,
actually meet the person.
more specifically, I mean,
Yeah.
have you met up with someone and they don't look like their pictures, or have you met up with someone and it's a completely different situation? I understand like the people that make fake profiles or use fake pictures and then you never actually meet up with, which is really shitty. I mean, that sucks. But
I did my homework on that one.
Yeah.
That's another episode.
Well, yeah. I mean, you should do your homework. But I just mean like, have you ever shown up and have them not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's them though, and they didn't look like their picture.
Yeah.
I don't know how old that picture was.
I mean, same. I mean,
and luckily I was that one that I'm talking about who pulled up and then left because I was like,
well,
and yeah, I mean, not to be mean, but it's like you need to be honest. Like, show me the most updated because I'm gonna show you what's up. And now people think I'm catfish a lot on these apps, which I've heard that someone's used my profile before, which is weird.
That's another creepy thing. Like that, putting your pictures out there just to be used. Like that's
But there are people out there that do it. So it's hard to say don't open up because you got people out there, but don't let that also, turn you off from opening up and taking adventures and taking a leap of meeting people. Like he said, if you're going to meet someone off these apps, meet in a public place. Don't meet in your home because they could be a killer or they can be a thief,
Sorry, can't host.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's Super Bowl Sunday or it's this time and let's just go meet up at this bar and just chit chat.
Get a drink.
Because you be looking at my room or looking at my living like, ooh, that's nice. I'm going to get that when he leaves and da-da-da-da. Now you know where I live.
Yeah.
So just, be careful and definitely meet in a public spot. I is good. I mean, I honestly can say I have met my history of my men, my ex, I should say. All three of them, I met them in a public place. The last, yes, it was on Tinder, but we did meet in a public place, so I think it's just better than you get a feel for the person.
Yeah. Dating. Be safe. Have fun.
Yes. Don't
be scared to put yourself out there, but in a smart way.
Yes. And know yourself.
Yeah.
So you know what you're getting yourself into. You're not going to be too easy or taken advantage of. And this is a big thing for me that I'm always going to be talking about on my show is definitely just that self-love you got to have for yourself because you won't be looking for that love in someone else because you already have found it, but they'll show you a different love that you got to be open to. And that communication, because I think we all have an understanding of love and we have a way of, we think what it looks like. And that person also has an experience of love that they've experienced and they have a different way that it looks like.
Yeah. Totally different.
So
which
I
goes
think
back
it is
to like you're dating that person's past.
Yes.
Like my boyfriend comes from a two-parent household with military background, a Baptist church background, brothers and sisters. I come from a single mom that took care of me, and I had a stepdad for some years, and that didn't work out either. So like, it's completely different situations that have taught us how to love differently. That I think both of us are still trying to like figure out and struggle with, right? So all that to say, everybody loves a little bit differently based on the experiences that they have or that they've come from. So
right, I 100% agree, and be open to that. Like you're learning about that person's past and all that, so definitely be open to that and ask the questions like, well, what? This is a weird one to ask, but I think I would challenge anybody to do this when you're getting into a dating and you really want to progress and you both want to meet there. Maybe have that conversation. So what does love look like to you, babe? And maybe it's a question that they never thought about, but it's like, well, it looks like this to me. Don't be scared to say what your opinion is, because if that person can receive it openly, then you found something really, actually, honestly good.
And there's like what's your love language?
There we go.
Like the internet, whatever it is, BuzzFeed or whatever sort of app or website has it, which I think can be pretty insightful. As gimmicky as a lot of the quizzes are, and as fun as they can be, everybody does receive love differently. Or,
and I think that needs to be understood, not looked over.
Exactly. Like things when you're dating somebody, whether it's you're out just testing the waters or whether or not you're in a committed relationship, I think that understanding the needs of the other person or the expectations of the other person is important. You're not both going to find, it's not realistic to expect that you guys are going to be the same, or that you're both going to find the exact same things important, to the same level of importance. Like, maybe you guys mesh up on everything, but there are certain things that are going to be important, like flowers, like time, like expensive gifts. Some people want some of those things or none of those things.
And that's
right?
the way they think what love is. Like, let me show this person flowers.
Like, if they're expecting certain things, or if their version of love is, I need to buy them, an expensive gift here, or I need to spend my time with them, so I need to give them all of my time. If that's how they are used to or know what love is, and they do that, but you need to have alone time, or you need to have your own space, or all you want is a dinner instead of a fancy watch, I don't know, that's important to communicate.
Yeah.
Or they won't know.
Yeah.
We all receive love differently.
We do.
Right? So.
And take the time to understand it.
Yeah.
And just don't expect that they're going to understand how you know how to love or experienced it,
Yeah.
We really got to be open to that. And
not every date that you go on is going to be the love of your life.
True.
Not every date you go on is going to manifest into something else. Or it could manifest into a friendship.
Go open-minded. Be open without the expectations that it's going to go right or it's going to go wrong. If they wear black, they're demonic, or you got to go.
I wear black all the time, and I don't think I'm demonic.
See? It's like...
I've been probably called that or looked like that at
really?
some point, but I wear black all the time. I like wearing black. As I'm not wearing black right now.
But that can go in many other ways than one.
Okay. Speaking of which, my boyfriend just texted me and he's trying to make me food. So.
Okay, so that is going to be the end of our show.
Another positive of dating, cooking, eating.
Do it at home. Don't go out all the time spending your money, because that creates other issues.
Also, relationship weight is a real thing. Gaining weight after you get into a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
I'm probably like 25, 30 pounds heavier. I'm the heaviest I've ever been right now. I didn't mean to shake my head like I'm agreeing. I'm just, double chin thing that I got going on here.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for being my guest on my Talk About It Tuesday show.
Cheers to many more, hopefully.
Yes, we will definitely get together and talk about some more topics we've had before.
Yeah.
But also, I'm going to have questions here on the bottom of the screen that you'll see that we talked about. And please give some feedback, and we'll get to it when I post this.
I'm curious to know what people have to say.
Yeah.
I like having this interaction because I think it's going to facilitate probably a different perspective that I haven't had before.
Yeah.
And I like looking at things from different angles.
Me too.
Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But I like to kind of reassess and reprocess.
It's a pizza with a lot of slices, and he just has one slice.
So.
Me too. Oh man, but thank you again.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you, and thank you guys for taking the time out of your schedule, working out, hiking, whatever you're doing to enjoy it. Thank you, and nacho'scafe. Till next time. And that completes today's Talk About It Tuesday episode on Nacho's Cafe. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next Tuesday for the next TBIT episode. And remember, when you run into a mental wall of personal perspective, talk about it.